My boyfriend has a twisted streak. He complained that I was too controlling, yet he secretly loved the thrill of me calling and nagging him to come home. The 99th time I called him to come home, he finally exploded. Nag, nag, nag. That's all you ever do. What's the big deal? I'm just out for a few drinks with the guys. I'm not coming home tonight. Before I could even respond, a stream of text comments scrolled across my vision, like a live feed overlaying my reality. When is the ML ever going to realize his so-called brothers are all thirsting for his girl? Just wait till he messes this up and loses her for good. His buddies are gonna be lining up and taking a number. The FL is so blind. When is she going to notice the ML's best friend? He's practically dying for a chance with her. He'd treat her like a queen for the rest of her life. My mind reeled, half doubting, half intrigued. I opened my social media and posted a simple, clear status update. Happy to be single again. A second later, a notification popped up. It was from my boyfriend's best friend, Sebastian. The message was like a dating resume. 24 years old, 6 feet 3 inches, 7 inches, Ivy League education, don't like fights or the silent treatment. I listened to my girl, currently single, available. My boyfriend, Daniel, was out drinking with his friends. Again, frustrated, I dialed another number. Why do you always drag Daniel out drinking? Don't you know he has someone waiting for him at home? There was a pause on the other end, then a cool, detached voice replied, when did I take Daniel out drinking? Sebastian, Daniel's closest childhood friend, and the one who hated me the most. He'd never once given me the time of day, let alone a polite word, but I was too furious to care about our history. Who else would it be? You know he has stomach problems. What's your deal? Taking him to a bar every single night? My tirade was met with a dry chuckle, as if he found my anger amusing. I just got home from a business trip. I haven't been to any bar. A photo pinged on my phone. In it, Sebastian looked like he'd just stepped out of the shower, his expression lazy, a hint of chiseled abs visible. And for the record, his text continued, I have my own curfew. I have to be home by 10. His next words were clearly a pointed jab. I'm not like other guys. If I had a girlfriend, she'd be the one I listened to. I muttered a quick sorry and hung up, my face burning with embarrassment. The mix-up was so awkward that I completely forgot to call Daniel again. When he finally stumbled home the next day, his face was a thundercloud. I asked if he wanted breakfast. He ignored me, treating me like I was invisible. We were still locked in a Cold War a week later at a class reunion dinner. We sat at opposite ends of the table. A couple that was usually inseparable now looked like strangers. Isabel, Daniel's childhood sweetheart, leaned intimately against his shoulder and giggled, covering her mouth. If her hand, Daniel, fighting with your girlfriend again? You're a grown man, you shouldn't hold a grudge against a woman. Isabel, in the days before me, she was also Daniel's on-again, off-again girlfriend. After years of breaking up and making up, they had supposedly settled on being just friends. We'd fought about her countless times, but Daniel always grew impatient. We tried dating, it didn't work. If we were meant to be, would you even be in the picture? His friends would laugh and tell me I was overthinking it. You're the first girl Daniel's ever talked about marrying. For a player like him to want to settle down for you? That's love, girl. Watching them now, flirting and laughing as if no one else existed, I took a deep breath and told myself it was just normal friendly banter. When the food arrived, the main course placed in front of me was pineapple fried rice. Isabel feigned surprise. Oh, I completely forgot your girlfriend is allergic to pineapple. Daniel, didn't you remind me? She made a show of offering me her own seafood rice, her voice tinged with reluctance. The waiter said this was the last portion, but fine. Since your girlfriend loves it, she can have it. Her words painted me as some kind of bully who snatched things away from others, even though it was just a simple plate of rice. I was about to refuse when Daniel cut me off. You eat it. She doesn't need it. Who does she think she is, anyway? The table fell silent. Isabel tugged on Daniel's sleeve, her brow furrowed as she whispered sweetly, don't be like that. Just let her have it, I don't mind. I can eat the pineapple rice. Daniel was unmoved. His voice was loud enough for everyone to hear. What girlfriend? We're not married. And even marriage ends in divorce. We're just dating. One of his friends chimed in, half joking. Whoa, what's this? You planning on breaking up with her, Daniel? Daniel's immediate response was a reflexive, no. The friend smirked, his tone deceptively casual. That's what I thought. Jennifer keeps you on such a short leash you have to report in every time you have a drink. You might give her the silent treatment, but you'd never dare actually break up with her. The taunt hit its mark. Daniel's face flushed with anger. Who says I wouldn't dare? I'll do it right now. He was on the verge of saying the words, but then he hesitated, changing his tune. But I'm not one to argue with a woman. Jennifer can be petty, but we've been together a while. I'll give her one last chance to apologize. A flicker of disappointment crossed his friend's eyes, but Daniel didn't see it. Isabel looped her arm through Daniel's, adding playfully, well, if you do break up with her, you can date me next. Don't let some other girl snatch you up. Daniel smirked, ruffling her hair. His eyes swept over to me, his gaze cold. Of course. Some people are just too much drama. You've always been the sweet one. Everyone left. I was abandoned, standing alone on the side of the road. The restaurant was in a remote area. Getting a cab here had been easy. Getting one back was proving to be impossible. Daniel had refused to drive me and had made sure none of his friends offered either. The comment feed flickered back into my vision. The FL is an idiot. All she had to do was say a few nice words and the ML would have kicked the childhood friend out of his car and come running back for her. He's just being stubborn. He's still mad about the bar incident. If she'd just called him one more time that night, he would have gone home. He waited at the bar all night for her. He was furious. It was her fault to begin with. Why can't she just apologize? The ML is actually still driving around nearby. He knows this area is sketchy and he's worried something will happen to her. He really does love her. OMG, this FL is so annoying. Why can't she just back down? Is saying sorry that hard? It's driving me crazy. I pulled out my phone, my thumb daring over Daniel's contact. I knew if I called, he would turn the car around in a heartbeat, but my fingers wouldn't move. I put the phone away. I couldn't hold it in anymore. I squatted down by the curb and cried. I didn't know what I had done so wrong. Daniel always did this, using the silent treatment to force me into submission, again and again. I used to think it was just his personality, but it wasn't. I'd seen him, more than once, patiently and gently coaxing Isabel when she was upset. He was capable of gentleness, of patience. Just, never for me. Every time he got angry, he would use the word breakup to wound me, because he knew I would always be the one to back down. But this time, he was wrong. I walked for an hour before I finally hailed a cab. I was so exhausted I thought I might pass out, but I never made that call to Daniel. Back at the apartment, I packed my things and moved out. For the next 3 days, I didn't contact Daniel. Then, he actually called me. Why, we're something nice tonight. You're coming with me to a gala. His tone was clipped, but for Daniel, this was a rare olive branch. But I refused. I'm not going. Find someone else. There was a stunned silence on the other end. Find someone else? Everyone is bringing their girlfriend. Who am I supposed to find? Anyone, I said. Isabel, or some other girl. I don't care. Jennifer, how many times do we have to go over this? We're just friends. Are you seriously going to bring up old stuff again? You're the one who said if you broke up with me, you'd date her. Do you need me to repeat your exact words back to you? His breathing grew heavy, ragged with fury. Fine, then we're broken up. Let's see who comes crawling back like a pathetic dog first. He was so sure of himself. His friends never knew that we had broken up once before. He'd never mentioned it publicly, always leaving himself an out. For Daniel, the words let's break up were just code for, I'm angry. You need to grovel. Once you've begged enough, we can get back together. But one person can only be the first to apologize so many times. No matter how much love there is, it starts to feel like a wound. Fine, let's break up, I said. Maybe it was the night of the bar incident, or maybe even before that, but I was just so tired. I finally understood. In Daniel's mind, my concern was being controlling. My calls were an embarrassment, an annoyance. If that's how he felt, then I would let him go. Daniel, you wanted freedom. You're free. The moment we officially broke up, the comment feed exploded. Wait, I haven't checked in for a few days. How did the ML and FL actually break up? Ugh, it was definitely his toxic friends egging him on. They're single so they can't stand to see anyone else happy. The ML is about to find out that the world isn't ending just because he's not under his friend's influence anymore. LMAO. Just keep playing games. The second he's officially single, his buddies are gonna be fighting over who gets to date the FL first. Come on, FL, get a backbone. The ML can mess around with his childhood flame, so you can find yourself a cute younger guy. Why should guys have all the fun? It would be a lie to say I wasn't hurting. Years of my life were tied up in that relationship. You can't just cut that away overnight. But I couldn't let myself wallow. I had my own life to live. I didn't believe a word the comments were saying. Daniel's friends had always treated me poorly. They had warned me in private more than once that I wasn't good enough for Daniel, that I should leave him. The worst was when Sebastian cornered me once, demanding to know what I even saw in Daniel. I thought he was just being a protective friend, so I decided to mess with him. I told him it was the money, that I only liked rich guys. After that day, Sebastian started wearing a different luxury watch, sometimes multiple, on his wrist every day. I thought he was trying to mock me, so I ed him a peacock showing off its feathers and asked if his family had gone bankrupt, forcing him to become a watch model. He was so pissed that he stopped wearing them the very next day. But now, reading these comments, I hesitated. On a whim, I posted to my social media, single again, happy breakup to me. It was 2 a.m. I didn't think anyone would see it, but the next second, my phone blew up with notifications. People who had never once interacted with my posts were suddenly liking it, one after another, like they were standing in line. I blinked, counting them. It was Daniel's entire group of friends. I refreshed the feed, and a new post popped up. It was from a minute ago. From Sebastian, 24, 6 feet 3 inches, 7+, Ivy League, no childhood sweetheart, no old flames, 10 p.m. curfew. Don't like fights or the silent treatment. I listen to my girl. Currently single, available. Remembering the comment about finding a puppy, I tapped on his profile picture and sent a message. Hi. He replied in Stanley, yes. I'll post on my socials right now and make us official. Me? But I didn't message you about dating. The previous message was immediately retracted. Sebastian, wrong person. What's up? Me, is Daniel with you? Can you put him on? There was a beat of silence, then a cold laugh. He's not here. Why? Am I just your messenger now? I have no interest in being a part of your couple's roleplay. That's not it. I typed quickly. Daniel and I broke up. I just need to return some of his things. I was out of options. Over the years, Daniel had left a lot of stuff at my place. Mugs and towels were one thing, but there were also expensive items, rings, watches. I had tried using a courier service, but Daniel was never home to receive the packages. These things were too valuable to leave unattended. They needed to be signed for. I was stuck, and Sebastian was my last resort. Oh, so you really broke up. For some reason, his tone softened, and there was even a hint of Lee in his next message. Just send it over with a courier. He's here now. But you just said he wasn't here, I pointed out. Did I? Must have forgotten. I'm 3 years younger than Daniel, you know. A young brain forgets things easily. Isn't it old people who are forgetful? Before I could point out the flaw in his logic, he was already urging me to send the package. He even added a thoughtful reminder, make sure you choose cash on delivery. You shouldn't have to pay for anything now that you've broken up.